The trim and extend tools allow the creation of complex shapes and building geometry that combines with other shapes. The trim tool has various modes it can operate in. The most powerful is the power trim tool. This should be your go-to tool for modifying sketch elements. So let's take a look at the few tools we have available. First, under the trim entities button up here, I'm going to click on the drop-down arrow, and I'm going to start with the extend entities. Click on that, and this tool works pretty simply. Any entity you go over, like a line like this, it'll give you a preview of what's going to happen. I'm going to actually click on this line. It's going to extend it all the way up to this line here. So click on that, extends it up. Click on a line over here, and extends it over. You can use this with arcs as well. Click on an arc, and it'll extend it this way, or it'll extend it that way, depending on which side of the arc you happen to be on. Click over here, extend it over to there. If you click on an entity like this one, notice it can't extend this way or that way to hit anything, so it just doesn't do anything. So keep in mind, it's only going to extend if there's something to extend up to. For instance, over here, it's going to extend that way. Over here, it's going to extend that way. Okay? That's the extend tool. Now we're going to jump over to the trim tool. Now in trim tool, I'm going to start at the very bottom here, trim to closest. Think of trim to closest like a pair of scissors, and it's going to trim that entity up to the next item it sees. In this case here, I'm going to trim this line here. It's going to trim it all the way up to this line segment. So click here, trims it away. Same thing here, trims it away, trims it away. I can trim off the little sections here and clean up the corners. Pretty straightforward. Easy to use. Now I'm going to go ahead and say undo a few times here to get those line segments back. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to a different trim tool. I'm going to go with the trim away outside tool. In this case here, I'm going to choose two lines which are going to bound the trim. So I'm going to click on this line here and this line here, and then I'm going to trim away everything on the outside of those two lines. So if I click on any one of these segments here, it trims away the two outside segments of that line. I can choose the inside of the line, doesn't matter, or the other side, doesn't matter. It's just trim away anything on the outside of these two lines here. Again, I'm going to undo a few times, bring those lines back, and we're going to switch over to the next trim tool, which is trim away inside, which works exactly the same way. This time I'm going to choose the two bounding lines, and then I'm going to trim away anything between those two lines. I can choose the center of the line, or I can choose the right side of the line. Anywhere on that line segment, it's going to trim away anything between the two bounding entities. Okay? Come up here to corner trim, and corner trim will just trim away two lines intersecting. So this line here, I'm going to trim this corner to that corner. It's going to trim away those two outside lines. That one to that one, that one to that one, that one to that one. Pretty straightforward. And finally, let's jump over to power trim. Power trim is my favorite trim tool, and really, if you're using power trim, you don't really need most of these other trim tools at all. Power trim is a little bit harder to understand how it works in the beginning though, and what it is, it's a little gray line, and anything that line cuts through will automatically trim up to next. So start over here on the right hand side. I'm not going to click on any of the lines at first. I'm just going to start out in the space. Click, and I'm going to hold down my left mouse button, and I'm going to drag. And notice I see this little gray line on the screen of what I'm going to be drawing. So think about like a little pencil. Anything the pencil draws through, it'll automatically trim away. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to start trimming this very first line. And as soon as I trim through it, it just cuts it away. Cuts it away, cuts it away. Come over here, I can cut this line here, and it trims it away. And if you let go, it turns it off. Go ahead and click again, click and drag. I'm going to trim here, come down here and trim, trim. So you can really delete a lot of geometry really quickly using this trim tool. Again, come over here, trim, cuts away that segment. You can come over here and trim this away. You can trim away circles, you can trim away lines, you can trim away things like this, or you continue to hold down that mouse button and just trim away just about anything. So a very powerful tool, quick and easy to use. Just remember, start outside of the line segments and drag through them to trim up to closest. The trim tool is an essential tool for building complex shapes in a sketch environment. By leveraging the trim and extend commands, you can rapidly modify existing geometry and take your sketches to that next level.